Even if they did want to join, it'd be like, how much? Can't afford you, sorry. So, to see all these amazing people join that I'm looking up to and thinking, wow, I mean, what amazing talent. And it's like when you've got a team in this business, you're only as good as your team around you, and you can't go out there and get to the top on your own. We're no different, and it's just great to see how the company's building at the moment.
Absolutely is. And do you know what? And you're chief recruiter, like you're getting some amazing, because obviously you recruited Matthias into the UK business.
You wouldn't believe it. I mean, I've spent so much time. I mean, I should be HR. I've got a call tomorrow, actually. We're looking to bring a new guy on for Spain. So I spent actually hours and in fact days, not weeks, spending time on Zoom calls. I mean, I've said with Matthias, Matthias was not an easy guy to recruit. It took me 4 months, by the way. It was easier to get my wife to say, yes, I'll marry you, than get Matthias Mildenborn into this company. But, he was selective at the end of the day. He was happy where he was. He got a great future ahead of him. But he didn't have the prospects of what he could get with this company, of course, which is why he came to join us. But 4 months for him to say, yes, I'm coming back from Morocco to miserable UK, rain, cloud, and everything else to go with it.
And that's a big ask. I mean, he brought his whole family over here, and it's not, it's not his first country. So that shows the level of commitment and the vision that he has also for the company, right?
And we relocated him. We bought 2 40-foot containers back with all his gear and everything. It's a massive move for him, but a big move for us and a big expense. But that's the sort of talent that we're getting on board. That people that want to come and hang the coat up and hang the hat with this company, and like I've been, for nearly 30 years, and it just gets better. It doesn't get easy, I would say. It's hard work.
Sure.
But it's amazing. Oh, crap, we've got a nice little screen share on. Fantastic.
Hold on a second.
Right, you're going to have to find who that is. Yeah.
Okay, I can sort it. I'm like a Zoom expert these days. So, why, just so people, there's also, obviously, we'll have brand new people on here. We've got people who've been in the business for a long time, but just give us a flavour of why are you putting so much effort into getting the right people on board? Like, what is your vision for where we're going, and how important is it that we have the right people at a corporate level, do you think?
Well, what you've got to understand is the company's 50 years old next year.
Mm-hmm.
It got taken by, of course, we've still got the same founder, President Jay Martin. It's one of the reasons I'm still with the company, of the ethos of that guy. Great company, great products, but it's all about people. It's about caring for people at the end of the day and giving them a place to sort of stay. What the difference is really, Jay took us to, what I would say, going back 4 or 5 years ago, to $400 million.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much on the back of a piece of paper. His plans were on a piece of paper. Now, we've got bigger ambitions now, and of course, we've doubled our business. We've gone from $400 million to nearly $900 last year. We've doubled our business in the last 4 years in Europe. Just huge growth, as we know, with amazing people like yourself, of course, coming on, getting to the top, great leaders. So we've got a real appetite for ambition now to move this company, to take it from where we're close to $1 billion. We want to take it over the next 4 or 5 years to $4 billion. And we've got a very clear 5-year strategy to take us there to do that. Because, you've got to have the right people in place. You've got to have the right infrastructure in place. As we know, our IT infrastructure has been pretty shocking. That's probably, could I use more words? But we've got an old system. We've got a legacy system, like a lot of old companies, built on over the years. And it doesn't allow us to be very agile in terms of the digital age that we're in now. But we've replaced 80% of our hardware over the past 6 months, which means we've had a few outages. We had a big one at the end of July. And we're sort of coming through that now, where we might have a few ripples over the next 3 months, but not as bad as the summer, I don't believe. But we're going to get into the new year where we're going to be in very good shape. We'll replace pretty much 90% of that hardware. And we're going to be in a lot better position to springboard ourselves. We're spending $5 million on a new website and a new virtual office. And we're doing that not with the Memphis company, we're doing with a Swiss company called Infocentric over in Switzerland. They've done companies like Swiss.com, websites like that. And these guys are real specialists, and we're on target, and we're looking to do some tests in the new year, and you're going to see a new website coming your way. Which we need, of course, new digital age. So IT has been one of our sort of veins, really, that sort of had to live with. But that's changing, you know, and it's got to change for us to take us to where we want to go, into new countries around the world. We've got big, big plans there. And we've got some new hires already for those countries. I'm not going to go into any dates with you, but we've got people which have had on board for the past year, which we've been onboarding for those new countries, and it's going to be really exciting.
That's amazing. And like, for those of us who've been in the business, you know, the last 5 or 6 years, like the infrastructure has been, I think sometimes it's difficult for people to understand, like, it's not a normal business, right? It's not a normal kind of structure, and to change everything is not an easy task. So it's been like a long time coming, but we're excited about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I hear people say to me, why don't you just go out and buy a new computer system, right, and plug it in tomorrow? Doesn't quite work like that with legacy, you know, data that you've got. And of course, we've had to hire a load of more new sort of whiz kids and geeks on that side, you know. And if you London office, by the way, you're all welcome to come to our London office at some stage and have a tour around there. We've got 250 people in that office. We've had pretty much 230 of those hired in the last 18 months, which we've had to sort of train and bring on board. It's a delight to work at that office, just to see. I mean, it gives you amazing vision when you go around it to see how this company is structured and what it's going to do in the future.
And just give people who don't maybe know what it was like before, like to have 230 people in the call center and the new countries and the sort of rejigging of everything that's happened. Like, what was, if you go back even just, you know, 5, 6, 7 years,
yeah,
what was the corporate structure like at that point? And we've got, you know, we've grown from that so much.
Well, at that time, it's sort of me, one man and his dog, I guess, in the early days. It felt that way. But if we went back to when we got the big growth, which was 2013, you know, when you guys came on board, I had to rush and get an office. I had 2 weeks to go and get an office, open an office. You can imagine, literally, go around with all the estate aid. I need an office, you know, quick. How long have we got? 2 weeks, right. So we ended up in a cowshed, literally, with this office. And we had this huge growth then. I mean, it was unbelievable. We went from doing 800 customers a month, I remember, in the UK, to pretty much within 6 months, we're doing nearly 40,000. And we used to have 50 people joining the company a month in the UK. You know, now we've got nearly 1,000 every single month that join this company. So, you know, I mean, sometimes you can look at your business and be quite critical and think, well, hold on a minute, we're not really moving forward, or we're not getting great gains. But, you know, sometimes you've got to, it's like Steve Jobs says in his autobiography. He says you can never join the dots going forward in life, right? Because, you know, we haven't got a crystal ball, but you can join them going back. And there's some significant things that happen in your life when you drill it back and go, well, hold on a minute. Maybe if I didn't meet Emma, right, I would have never got involved with this. Or maybe if I didn't meet that guy who became my husband, right, I wouldn't have had these kids or wouldn't have done X, Y, Z. You know, I mean, it's a sort of philosophical look on life, but actually that's the way life works. And there's some big, big things that happen that sort of take you to where you are today, to where I am tonight, talking to you.
And I think one of the things that I really want people to understand is, like, for a company, for any company to invest the kind of money that we're investing in, the time and the people into it, just goes to show the vision that the company have for the future, right? Not just that, I mean, $4 billion is hard to even get your head around what that is. It's 4 times the size that we are now in the next, I think you said five years. But that level of vision, like, what's driving that now? Like, what's changed in terms of where the company's going, in terms of where, from you look at it now, when you were 5 years ago, you had that vision, but it was kind of hard to get other people to see it. Now other people are obviously seeing it because we've got that investment level.
Well, in those days, the early days, we're not really structured. You know, a lot of decisions were made on the hop, on the sort of day by day or week by week. Now we're very, you know, you have to plan ahead to get this significant growth. Certainly when you go into new countries and you get a new infrastructure in place. And now we've got 5 really growth pillars, and we've got 13 winning global moves that we're very much focused on. And we revisit those growth pillars each and every month. All of us, we sit down and we go, okay, let's do a check. Let's see how accountable everybody's becoming very, very accountable in our business at the moment, so that we can get over the line with these growth pillars, you know. So, I mean, number one is better offerings. So we want to bring more new products to you guys. Well, we've just hired a new director for product innovation this past year. So he's a guy, he gets up in the morning, all he thinks about is brand new products. We want to bring new services to you guys. We've got a new guy that just deals with services, right? We want to give you a better customer experience. You know, I think we've got a long way to go there, you know, from the time when we just take an order to when it gets delivered. You know, we want to do the whole thing so it's a premium product. We want to have a premium service where, you know, even if somebody doesn't stay with you on your product, Juice Plus, they go to you. You know, if we did a poll on 100,000 customers and said, look, how was the experience? I mean, majority would go, amazing product. What about the service? Yeah, well, not so good. I got a brown cardboard box. It got battered when it came. Somebody threw it over the gate. You know, that sort of stuff, right? Which we've got to clear up so we get this experience where your customer turns around and said, would you buy from that Juice Plus company? And they go, without a doubt. Do you know what? It was amazing. It was a 6-star service. That is where we want to get to. We've got a guy from John Lewis, right, who started John Lewis Online back in 2011. You know the service levels you get at John Lewis. They're going through their own issues, of course, at the moment with the retail chain. But he wakes up every day looking at the customer experience. And we want to get better in that area. So we've got one guy, that's all he does every single day of every week.
And it's interesting you mentioned that about, you know, it's not just John Lewis that are struggling with the retail experience, because everything is moving online. And in that respect, we're kind of ahead of the curve, really. So all of these guys on this call and people joining the business every day with us, that is the future of shopping, isn't it? Really, everybody, look, all of us, we're all shopping online. I don't know that, you know, if I want anything, I don't really go to the shops now.
Yeah, I mean, we all know about the Amazon phenomena. I think we all shop with Amazon, you know, a couple of clicks and you buy your product, amazing service. You know, we all want to go that way. We are leading the way in our industry, by the way. You know, I get to sit down with all the MDs of other companies, big companies, on a regular basis. And we are leading the way with taking our product through to the end consumer, where we're delivering direct to the consumer, you know, and we're doing all the hard work. We're doing the heavy work for you. That's what I love about this. You know, it's £50 to get involved. We're not looking for investors. We're looking for doers. That's it. It's time that you're investing in. We do all that hard work, you know, investing in the product, you know, the research, the warehousing, getting it to consumer, picking the money up from the consumer. You don't have the risk. And that's what I love about this business, really. The only risk is time. That is it.
It's one of the things I think that it's really important that we as distributors are clear about what a massive benefit that is that we're offering people. Is so many, the fact that we don't have to handle the product, we don't have to handle any money, we don't have to, you know, buy the stock and separate it out and go to the post office. And, you know, it's a business designed for busy people because of that. And I would never underestimate, like, that's amazing that the company do that, isn't it?
Well, it's easy to sort of take it for granted unless you think about it. I mean, you're probably thinking about it now because, like I say, most of the companies in our industry that I sit down with, you know, they do wholesale orders. So you've got to order your product from them, probably spend £1,000, whatever, get it ordered, get it delivered to your home. Then you've got to go and deliver it to your clients. And you've got to pick the money up and all that. Just the hassle and aggravation is unbelievable. And of course, you don't have to do that with us. We do it all for you. And that experience is going to get better and better, I can assure you. Because,
so exciting.
You know, we are committed to give a better customer experience.
And that's people, I mean, people's expectations. All of us are consumers of the product and other products, you know, and marketplaces as well. And our expectation is high these days. So as a company, it's great to see the amount of effort that's going into delivering a top-notch customer experience. And before we just move on to how we, like as leaders, and everybody's a leader in this business, how we maximize that from your point of view, I just wanted to, you shared a story with me once about an NMD meeting in your house. Like, if you look back at what we've just had, the NMD meeting, there's like 150 people. What did the NMD meetings used to be like when they were just around your kitchen table? And how far have we come? Oh. Oh, I think we might have lost him. Simon, are you still there? Okay, can you guys still hear me? If you can't hear Simon, or is it just me? Keep losing connection. Okay. You can hear me, but not Simon. Okay, so it's Simon's end. Okay, so I'll just keep talking until Simon can come on. So we've come a long way, basically. There was, Simon was telling us a while ago about like an NMD meeting that he used to have where there was like 7 people around the table. And let me just mute this lady here. And look how far we've come. Like, we've come so far. I think the last NMD meeting we had a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago to today, there was like over 140 of us. We've come absolutely miles in, I think he's just logged out, so hopefully log back in again. We've come so far in just, honestly, what is, even though we're a 50-year-old company, the growth has been predominantly in the last 5 to 6, 7 years, really. And from what Simon was saying, like, the next level of growth is going to be absolutely massive. Like, there's so much exciting stuff ahead. He talked there a little bit about some new countries that are coming. We've got new products, or we've got reformulation of the shake product. If any of you have not tried that yet, get your NMD has got some, and it's coming through. I don't know the exact date, but it's imminent. The new formulation of the shake has got some extra product in there. It's basically bigger and better than it's ever been. So we've got so much really, really good stuff coming down the line, basically. And honestly, my opinion about where we're at with this. Oh, I think Simon might be back on. Actually, are you back, Simon? Hold on. Are you back?
Can you hear me?
Oh yes, there you are. Let me just find you now. I was just filling in the gaps there a little bit and seeing how far we've come. So yeah, I mean, I was just talking there about you know, that NMD meeting that you had back in the day, where there was like 6 or 7 of you around your dining room table. Like, how different for you? You've been in the company for such a long time. You must have seen so much change in that time. So tell us a little bit about that, but also somebody who's joining the company now, or when we're out there sharing this opportunity with people, why would somebody join now? What's ahead for them? What would be the biggest draw, do you think, for someone looking at this opportunity now versus maybe 20 years ago?
I think it's a lot easier than it was in those days, just because it's a lot, the speed, you know, you can expedite your business so much quicker nowadays than you could before, because let's face it, you know, when I started, we had those big Nokia phones, you know, the ones you put. In fact, you could tell that everybody got one, because the shoulder was like that. You know, you go, you got one of those phones because it's so heavy. But anyway, of course, there was no real internet in those days. I mean, it was face-to-face meetings. You had to get in the car. You had to drive for literally hundreds of miles, you know. And I used to be in the field in the early 90s. Right before I joined as a corporate member back in 96. And I can remember we used to go to meetings. I used to be at like 4 or 5 different meetings a week, and we would drive home late at night. And I'd be on the road at like 12, 1, 2. I mean, you've done some of this, Emma, as well.
Yeah.
You know, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And we used to ring each other, you know, again, hey, how you going? Got this amazing meeting, just to keep ourselves awake before we got home, you know. And that's the way it was. And that's what you did. But now, of course, here we are connected to nearly 500 people tonight from all different regions of the UK. And it's amazing. I mean, what's it going to be like if we dial it forward another 5 years or another 10 years? You know, I was listening to Elon Musk this morning on a podcast, going to work in London, and talking about, you know, and somebody mentioned there, said, well, what's it going to be like in another 20 years? You know, I mean, we haven't got the crystal ball, of course, but, you know, we're all going electric cars and all this sort of stuff. Things are changing. You know, it's just amazing. It really is. So to build your business today is so much easier than it is. It might be easier again in 5 years' time, but I think one thing that we don't get away from is we are dealing with people. Yeah. And we build a community. It's about building relationships. That's it. And you've got to lock people into your team, so they're going to want to stay with you. Same as what we've got to do as a company. We've got to lock you guys in so that you want to stay with us, so you don't go looking left and right to other companies. You go, actually, do you know what? This is my home. I feel appreciated here, right? I mean, you know, the grass might be greener on the other side, but we always say it still needs mowing. You know, this work still needs to be done, right? It's a 4-letter word called work in this business. And this is a career. You've got to treat it as a career if you want to do really well and be a real pro. If you want to treat it like a hobby, yes, you'll make a little bit of hobby money, £200, £300, £400 a month, which is great. Changes people's lives, and we pay thousands and thousands of people every single month that sort of money. But if you want to be the Emma Karens or the Emma Sneddons, the John Hollowatties, you want to rise to the game, you've got to be more committed, and you've got to play your A game, which means you've got to treat it like a career when you get up in the morning. It doesn't mean you have to be full time, right? But you know, you've got to manage your time effectively, and you've got to be committed.
Definitely, and I think also that it's about getting up every day and deciding, or even going to bed and deciding like that you're going to treat it like a business the following day. Because sometimes we can get bogged down in all the bigger visions that we've got for ourselves, but it's the daily, day-to-day stuff that all adds up. So We've got, as I said right at the beginning of the call, it's 90 days until, I think it might be 90 days tomorrow, until the end of the decade, right? We're heading into the 2020s. When I joined the business, we talked about Dubai 2020. Do you remember when we were in Nice? We all signed that big board in 2013, and it seemed so far away. It's like 2020, and now here we are on the cusp of Dubai 2020, right? Just so exciting.
85 days to Christmas.
90 days till Christmas.
85 today.
85, yeah. So 90 days until 2020. So what do we need to be doing with all of your experience? And you've seen so many people come and go, and so much success, and so much, so many different people and from different walks of life. What do we need to be doing as distributors, as leaders of our own businesses, as leaders of our teams for the next 90 days to head into 2020 and maximize all of the stuff that's coming?
I think there's a number of things. If you look at all the attributes of great leaders like yourself we've got in this business, we've got Katie on there. Hi, Katie in Sarasota. Some people just sort of fall into the business and get involved because they think, oh, yeah, maybe I'll have a go. I'll sort of have a go attitude, which means you're probably not going to stay, right? I would say number one is you've got to become a real product of the product. You've got to become the best version of you, whatever that's going to be, right? You need to sort of look good naked in the mirror, whatever that means to you at some stage, but you need to go to work. You need to go to work on you. You've got to become a big ambassador for this product, the Juice Plus, so that people look at you and go, Sarah Bloxwich, you look amazing, right? Beverly Lawrence, God, you look amazing. Emma Kelly, what are you doing? I want a bit of whatever you're doing. Right, because that's people. People want to look, a bit anti-aging bit, and great hair, with nice skin, nails. People want a bit of what you've got if you're looking good. So you need to go to work on you, and like I say, you've got to become the product to the product. Where if somebody sliced you open in the morning, they can see Juice Plus running through your veins. That's what you've got to do. And it's not easy. I've been to the gym tonight. My PT's beating me up. The older you get, it gets harder. But you know what? You've got to be accountable in this industry. We're in the health industry, and our mission is to inspire healthy living around the world. So you've got to walk your talk. Mm-hmm. That will be number one, right? And by doing that, you're going to stay in the Juice Plus business if you're a product to the product. And if you are not, you will leave this business at some stage. I can guarantee you. So that is that. Next one, of course, is you've got to have some goals. Whatever they may be, you've got to get some goals written down. A lot of ladies don't like them called goals, I believe. So you can call it a target, whatever you want to call it. But you need to get some things written down that you want to achieve. Now, if you write them down, your subconscious has got a better chance of going to work on it rather than just by saying it out loud. Mm-hmm. So I would suggest write those goals down. We're not far from the new year as well, which is where you need to be doing that anyway. I can guarantee once you do that, you will write it down. And a lot of people go, well, do you know what? I don't do goals, right? I don't do targets. Everybody does. You do it every day when you get out of bed, and you go and have a shower and you put your trousers on or your skirt. That is goal setting, right? But your subconscious just automatically does it for you because that's the normal thing you do every day. So my suggestion is get some goals written down and put 5 things down that you want to achieve in this business. And that's another good thing that's going to lock you in as well. And then, boom, you're going to start moving forward. Next one is Edinburgh, right? Put your hand up if you book for Edinburgh. I know not everybody's going to be booked for Edinburgh on this call, I can guarantee you, right? All the successful people go to the events. What does that mean? If I want to be successful, I've got to go to the event. So if you can't afford to go to Edinburgh, you've got to do whatever you've got to do, whether you've got to stand on the motorway and thumb a lift, right? Whether you've got to jump in somebody else's car to get there, right? Whether you need to go to your grandma and say, look, Granny, can I borrow 50 quid to go to Edinburgh because there's a big convention on, right? And you're betting on me, on my life here. You've got to do it. Because that's where businesses are built, right? And that's where you're going to get probably, could be one hidden gem, one little thing that came out of Edinburgh that is going to change your business and your life forever. We were talking about Nice there back 2013. That changed most people's lives in the Rhino business. Mm-hmm. you know, you guys are here today, and of course, you've got an amazing lifestyle from it that you built over those years. So Edinburgh, in fact, it's a bit cheesy when we say this, but Juice Plus events change lives. So cheesy, isn't it? But it's so true. It really is. You know, I went to my first convention in May 1990, Las Vegas. There were 15,000 people there, right? I mean, I didn't need a plane to fly home, honestly. I was just like mega charged. It's like, get me home. Let me get building this business. That's what Edinburgh's going to do for you. And gents, if you're on, don't forget to wear your kilts.
I think it's good because we get off. We're online a lot, aren't we, as human beings now? Like, it's just the way of the world that we're all on phones and the internet all the time. And what the conventions do is they get you out of that a little bit. Yes, we can share it on stories, and you can share it, but it's the, you know, what Alex used to call the eyeball to eyeball, belly to belly stuff, right? Where you get to actually physically touch and feel and contact and speak to people. It's the people you meet in the toilet queue and the people you meet at the bar. That's the vibe that you get. You can't get that on a Zoom call, can you?
No, you can't. No, you can't. You really, really can't. You've got to touch it. You've got to feel it. You've got to feel the atmosphere that something's going on, you know, and that's I think the thing is that when I went to that Las Vegas event, right, nobody actually had to say a word. It was me walking in that auditorium. I just felt, you know, you can feel it in the air and you think, my God, do you know what? I want to be involved in this. Whatever ever's happening, I want a bit of this. So that's what Edinburgh is going to do for you. Now, the thing is, don't go on your own. Take your team with you. Take new people with you because, right, people don't always get involved because of you. They get involved because it might be somebody else. It might be the Emma Karen. It might be the Emma Snedden. It might be the Katie Katie Wren, sorry. It might be that person that you see on stage. There might be an accountant and they see a Gordon Wilkie who used to be an accountant. They might see Joe Smith, who used to be a mechanic, going across the stage as a sales coordinator. And that all they need to know is, if they can do it, I can do it. That's what everybody wants to know. And you're going to get that in Edinburgh. And it's going to lock you in and it's going to take you to the next level. I can assure you. So there we go. So I'd give you your money back. Somebody came to me and said, you know what, Edinburgh was rubbish, Simon. Right, you told me to go and it's absolute rubbish. I'd actually give you your money back and put my hand in my pocket and say, do you know what? There's your money back.
Yeah, because they're amazing, and all the comments I've read, people saying they're excited and they're coming and they're booked in. And I remember really early on, Jeff Roberti, who we've had on one of these, you know, one of the company calls, he's amazing, and he said that the big conventions are the non-negotiable income producing activity. I'll always remember that line, the non-negotiable income producing activity. And that for me, if you ever want to follow somebody's example, right, if you want the business that he's got, I'm like, if he says to go, well, I'm going, right?
That's it. Plus, of course, we've got the Juice Plus party.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, everybody's juiced up. They don't want to go to bed. Juice Plus party. Unbelievable.
That's your 4 things that we people need to be doing: walk the walk, talk the talk about the product, and obviously we need to share that, right? It's all. I always say to people, if you're taking the product, take it in front of people, take it at work. If you're in a hotel, take the capsules at the breakfast table. Don't take them in your room where nobody can see you. Like, show people in every way that you can that you are taking the products and using them and walking the walk yourself on your social media and offline. The second one you said was,
and of course, but you've got to be conscious about these things. You've got to think about it, right? That's it.
Yeah.
So you're quite right. I mean, I've just had some of the lift drink there. Little things like that. Could be that little disc there that somebody says to you, hey, by the way, what is that? Right? And yeah, exactly. What is that? You know. Then it gets the conversation going. You go, great, yeah, and there we are. That's it. So you don't know. And the thing is as well, Jeff Roberti, as we know, he's the top earner in network marketing worldwide. Now, maybe, I'm sure, the top earner has not even been introduced to network marketing in any business. And guess what? Somebody had to sponsor an Emma Snedden, an Emma Karen, a John Holwatty. Somebody had to sponsor these people. So even it might be somebody that you trip over tomorrow coming out the supermarket or a Costa or if you're buying a coffee, who could be the next #1 earner in the UK. You do not know. And that's the crazy thing about this business. It's unbelievable where it's going to take you over a period of time.
It really is. We're running a little bit out of time, but thank you. I just want to, like, one of the things I wanted to make sure people know about, like, things like this. We have so many products that we can carry about with us now. Like, we didn't have the single sachet shakes before. We've got them now. This product, this needs to be in your handbag, in your gym bag, in your car, because you never know when you're going to bump into somebody, right? That you can give it to and they can try it. And I think that's a fantastic progression from even where we were. It's harder to give somebody those, but always have them with you so you can show them to people. You know, one of the questions I asked you was, are you audio or visual? People are they want to see, touch, feel things, and we're way ahead of where we were, I think, in our ability to be able to do that. Okay, so you said walk the walk, come to Edinburgh, set some goals, put them everywhere was another thing, right? Like, put your goals everywhere. It's great knowing them, but like really living them every day is absolutely key, and you're a great example of that.
Yeah, so, I remember that one on Alex, of course. He wrote it on his ceiling.
Yeah.
Right, it's like, I am an MD. So that's the first thing when he woke up every morning. That's what he saw. And I remember when I was in Spain at an event. Right, we're at somebody's house. We did an in-home meeting, probably 10 years ago. And this person said, "I want to be an MD." And he says, "Are you sure you want to be an MD?" She said, "Yes." She said, "Right, what I want you to do then, I want you to paint it on your lounge wall." And she said, "What's my husband going to say?" "Don't worry about your husband. I'll deal with your husband." So she painted it on this beautiful lounge wall. I am going to be NMD. I mean, God knows how that happened when her husband came back home.
I remember John Holloway taking my phone off me, and I had a picture of my kids on there or something as a screensaver, and he went, "Well, that's not going to make you a millionaire." He said, "It's lovely, but that's not," he said, "you need to have your goals on your screensaver. You turn your phone on average 222 times a day, a normal person." So we're doing it way more than that. Every time you turn your phone on, you should have your goals right in front of you, right as your screensaver, right as your background. That's an easy thing to do, probably a bit easier than painting it on your living room wall, maybe a little bit less confrontational, but wherever they need to be in front of you.
I mean, I think what everybody needs to know is, I mean, you've got a ticket to freedom with this.
Will it continue?
But you might not know this at all, right? You pay £50 to get involved. A lot of people treat it like a £50 business. So you've got a ticket to do something that most people can't do. To have the PM and PT equation, which means plenty of money and plenty of time. Two don't go together in normal life because we have a linear income. You know, people have to go to work to get paid, right? With this one is you can get a residual income over a period of time where if you want to take some time off, the money rolls in and you can take your family away and do some amazing things. That's the reality, and that's what happens with this business, right? And of course, worldwide business, we're only in 26 countries worldwide. I mean, we're going to be, I mean, somebody said to me, where do you think we'll be in another 20 years, right? We'll be in over 100 countries, I reckon. I really do. You know, and we've not even hit the big countries yet. Asia, huge. Those people haven't got a plan A, never mind a plan B, right? So they want to run all over this business. And as soon as we go into those markets, huge. Imagine just waking up one day to the next and you've got a new NMD in Beijing. Then you've got a sales coordinator in Taipei. Then you've got a new senior director in Delhi, right? That is the reality of what's going to happen. And you might not even know anybody outside of the UK, but I can guarantee you stay in the business long enough, your business on its own energy will go worldwide. And that is exciting.
It's very exciting. I've got like actual butterflies in my stomach now. So exciting. And one of the things that I wanted to just sort of finish up on is about the importance of the relationships that we build and the relationships that we have internally within the company, within our, within our teams and within the whole company, between the corporate and the distributor base, but also with our customers. It's kind of full circle of where we started. And somebody said to me once, people will cancel a product from time to time, but they won't cancel a relationship. And I think one of the things, like, what's your view on the importance of building that relationship, not just with your customers, but with your team and all of us with each other? Like, how do we maximize that going forward?
Well, I think we're in the type of business where it's very easy to get a customer and move on. I think that's what a lot of people do, and they don't look at the importance of building that relationship with the individual. And you know, it's easy to move on and get what I call the big burn and churn each and every month. Which at the end of the day, what we're looking to do is to build a residual income. That means is having a customer staying on board. Now, the door opener might be complete for somebody in the 20s or early 30s that want to look good in 3 or 4 weeks' time. But your goal should be to start and look at trying to get them on the capsules and a reorder product. Repeat business is crucial in this business, right? And you'll see even the Amazons now, when you're checking out, they'll go, okay, do you want a reoccurring order there? And you can get a discount on it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the important part there. Is so you really have got to start asking your customers questions, right? I mean, find out as well. I mean, a lot of people, I think, as well, that actually they refer it to and talk automatically to their people like close by, fans, family and friends. Just like going to the cinema, you see a good film, you talk to people about it. Hey, I saw this great film last night, you know, Odeon, it was amazing. You don't get paid for that, right? But people can get paid for recommending Juice Plus, and that's it, you know. So you got to have your antenna up as well when somebody says to you, do you know what, my sister started taking it now, actually, my brother. In fact, I'm getting through it rather quick. I probably need it in the next week, right, in 2 weeks' time. You know, that's when you turn around to them and go, hey, great, by the way, I need some help. You've got a ready-made business there already with the family. Let's get you going and get your product for free, right? You can even do it that way, you know. So some subtle words that you could utilize where, you know, you're not sort of dragging them into the business by the neck, but you're subtly doing it, right? But thing is, like I say, Emma says there, is you've got to go out and there, build those relationships and make sure the customer has a good experience with you. We've got our bit to do as a company, like I say, which we're working on. But from your point of view, that we turn around to you and they would go, Andrina Crumpton, yes, you know what? I love her. I'd definitely buy Juice Plus again from her. She gave me a lovely service, right? It's fantastic. She did everything she could. She was looking at my well-being, you know, little tips, drink more water, do some exercise. You know, our job is to make people feel better about life, you know, and that's it. We're helping them, educating them to go out and do that little bit extra, right? Even if they didn't buy Juice Plus, it might mean taking the stairs rather than lift. It might mean walking to the shops rather than going in the car, but it's all about health. That is our job. If we can just give those few little bits and bobs of benefit, that where people go, God, do you know what? I feel a lot better, right? Louise Thompson gave me some amazing tips. She's fantastic. Would I recommend her? Of course I would. Mm-hmm. That is it. So our job is, you've got to get it in your mind all the time is our job is to make people feel better. That's it. We've got to offer a service.
And do you know what, Simon, what I love about that is that's always been our job 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and in 20 years it'll still be the same, right? So it doesn't matter what vehicles we use and what platforms we use, essentially asking questions, listening to the answer, and wrapping the product or wrapping the business around that person. That's all we need to do, isn't it?
Yeah, don't forget, you've got one mouth and two ears. It's not two mouths and one ear.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I want to take a quick photograph. So if you want to be, just so
I'll take a photograph as well.
Are you going to do it? Okay.
Yeah. So
you need to put your cameras on, guys. Put your cameras on.
Give me a heart shape. Give me a heart, guys. Right, let's have a look here. I'm going to do this here. That's it. By the way, I can't do that heart thing. I actually need an operation. I need an operation on my fingers to do that. It's great to see everybody, by the way. I hope you committed to Edinburgh. If you weren't going to Edinburgh, you need to tell your husband now. Simon said tonight, Simon says, I've got to go to Edinburgh. Exactly. So put that down on there on the text. If you're going to Edinburgh, you weren't. And looking forward to seeing you to the big party.
Okay, cool. Absolutely. Thank you, Simon. Right, let's do a quick photograph and then I'll wrap up. Are you ready to do the little heart thing? I'll take one as well, just so we've got a couple.
Fantastic. It's great to have the new Emma Karen in disguise.
Well, hey, you know, I couldn't want to be somebody else apart from her, right? Thank you so much for joining the call tonight. Really, on behalf of the whole team, like massive thank you so much. A quick reminder, guys, before I forget, that tomorrow night we do the product call as well. So everything that Simon's been talking about there, like we don't need to be experts at the product. All we know is we take the product, we feel the benefits, and we share that with other people. But these product stories that we're doing every Wednesday night, Sophia Marino is hosting those calls. Fantastic way to get stories into your head, so that when you do ask a question and someone says their experience of or their issue or their problem, you've got something that you can share with them, something that you've heard and something that you know. So do make sure that you're utilizing this stuff that is here for you, here to help you build your business. Simon, thank you so much for taking the time out. It is 9:20. Please go home and see your wife and have a good evening.
I'm going back for burnt offerings in the oven.
Dinners in the dog. We do appreciate, genuinely though, we do all appreciate everything that you guys do for us. Like, we wouldn't be in the situation that we are with the exciting, prospects that we've got ahead for the company. It is so exciting what's ahead, guys. Like, I hope you've got butterflies in your tummy. I hope you're excited like we are. I hope that you are both feet jumping into that water and just getting absolutely stuck in, because this business will repay you month after month after month after month in more ways than financial, but definitely financial too. If you just get committed for the long haul, for good, forever, you will never regret that decision, and this business will reward you in every single way possible. And I'm hoping that you got that feeling from Simon. I know that I did, completely. So I'm all in. So if you're all in, give me a thumbs up.
I'll give you a thumbs up. Yeah, of course I will.
Give me cranky. Thank you, Simon. Guys,
thanks,
go and do whatever
everybody.
you need to do. Have a great evening.
Edinburgh, don't forget your tartan.
All done. Thanks, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.